Emery from the Aimviva Travel Club. We do a lot more than travel insurance, as you'll see as I run through the next few slides. We like to focus on regular travelers, so if you're just doing a single short trip, maybe a holiday or a business trip, probably better to talk to your travel agent or do your travel insurance online with a normal provider. Our plans are annual plans done on a membership basis, so they're much better for people who are doing 3 or 4 trips a year, whether those are business or leisure, obviously, as well as longer trips and people who are living that nomadic lifestyle. Basically, as travel becomes more complex, Aimviva becomes more flexible. We say more than travel insurance, and we mean it. So I'll talk about the travel insurance in a minute, but we also give a free airport pass to all of our members. The theory being that if you do have a long delay, that you've got somewhere to go as a sanctuary. Of course, some of our members prefer to use that for luxury as opposed to an emergency. So we also give a 15% discount for ongoing airport lounge access. We have a smart baggage tag, which is supplied by Point Links in Hong Kong and uses the same system as TraceMe in the UK. Essentially, there's a barcode on the bag tag, so you don't need to advertise your name and address and phone number to people. If the bag goes missing, it can be scanned at any airport with a standard barcode scanner, and they'll know who the bag belongs to be able to get it back to you. And we also have a global SIM card solution that works in somewhere around 130, 140 countries and provides cheap data roaming. We put a little bit of data on the card again so that you have something to use in an emergency, but the rates are very cheap. You're free to top that up and use it at will if you find it useful. In terms of competitors, the cheapest solutions out there are people like American Express and STA who do student travel, but of course those are not very comprehensive solutions. The standard guys, Allianz, AIG, AXA, those guys cost you a couple of $100 a year. They'll only cover you out of your home country, and we'll have a number of standard limitations on them as well. If you want the Rolls Royce, World Nomads, Safety Wing, Alice Travels, those guys will do very, very comprehensive, flexible packages. But they're going to charge you anything from $500 US to about $1,500 US for the privilege. And then there's Aimviva, where basically we've taken a group plan and we price out at about what the standard players price out at, plus of course the extra benefits from the previous slide. To give you an idea of what's covered, $250,000 US worth of medical cover, which should be more than enough anywhere in the world, including the US. You'll notice further down there's an unlimited amount of medical transfer, so if you were to have a very serious accident or sickness, they'd be able to get you home. And you'll see there's some nice things in there, like $1,000 of emergency dental, some fairly generous cancellation and curtailment limits, as well as things like your lost passport and a generous personal liability sum, so that if you were, for example, to hit somebody in the head with a golf ball or have an accident whilst driving a car or a scooter and cause some damage, those kinds of things ought to be covered. There's a lot more in the policy, and of course we can provide you full details if you want to see those. Who's covered? We cover people from 0 to 70, citizens of any country. A little asterisk there, we can't cover mainland Chinese in mainland China, although we have some flexibility around foreigners in China and mainland Chinese who are citizens or residents in other countries. You can't travel to anywhere that's blacklisted, but otherwise you can go pretty much anywhere in the world. And clearly no professional sports and no racing of any kind, with a couple of neat exclusions I'll talk through in a minute. Travel is up to 90 days at a time. Again, the standard players will offer you 30 to 60 typically. You must return home in between those trips, and you can't be performing any manual labour, so no digging roads or building houses whilst on this plan. Thank you. Exceptional cases, we can go over 70 up to about age 75 by arrangement, so let us know and we can try and do that for you. Again, we said no racing, but racing if you're swimming and racing if you're running. For example, marathons are fine, providing it's amateur. Triathletes and bicycle racers don't always realise that they're not covered. And obviously, if you had an accident whilst racing, you may need hospitalisation, and if your insurance doesn't cover you, that's going to get very expensive. Again, if you let us know, we can do that for a small extra charge. Again, trips of more than 90 days, we can do it by arrangement. We've done a trip of up to 6 months already, and we know we can go beyond that. We just need to pay a little extra premium. So let us know, and we can try and solve those for you. The cool stuff, you want to go scuba diving, winter sports, jump out of a hot air balloon. I don't know what things excite you when you're traveling, but a lot of the standard policies and some of the international nomad policies will exclude a lot of this or charge extra for it. Our policy is very clear. If it's amateur and it's not specifically excluded like racing, then you can do it. It's not a problem. You'll be covered. If there's something unusual that you're doing and you want to check with us, again, we can get you a confirmation from the insurance company that your hobby or activity will be covered while you're traveling. Everybody wants to know what it's going to cost. If you look down at the bottom, you can see the cost of what we think are our main competitors. As I said earlier, from around 500 to about 1,400 US dollars, whereas Aimviva comes in at 217 per adult per year. Again, if you look at the limits, there's quite a lot of highlighted green on the Aimviva column there, and I think we're pretty close where we're not the best. The most comprehensive there, other than Aimviva, would be the World Nomads Explorer plan, which is a very good plan. You can see it's about 3 times the price of what Aimviva costs, and we could only get a quote from World Nomads online for a 6-month trip, not for a full year. So again, you may find someone like Safety Wing, for example, is very, very good if you want to do trips of shorter duration. If you were doing a 4-month trip, for example, it may be cheaper for you to go with them than to go with Aimviva, so it's always worth having a look. But we would say on balance, of course, that Aimviva is exceptional value for money and provides a very strong level of cover. Thank you. Do let us know if you have questions. We'd be very happy to answer them.